Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. I'm going to let the little algorithm go out here for a minute or so, or just to kind of get people starting to pop on. So I'm excited to be here today because this is Rah Friday. Woo! Yes, yes, yes. Love my little pop. So anyway, everybody, I'm excited to be here. We got a great show today, but first off, I want to welcome you to my Facebook Live, the Rah Real Estate Show, where we talk about home, inspiration, and life, and where every day we move people with heart. I am Patricia Love, and I have the website RahRahRealEstate.Love, and we have a no-cost service for buyers and sellers. If you are buying or selling a home nationwide, anywhere, we actually screen the realtors for you, and then we provide full strategies and support all the way through the transaction and the transition. So it's free. So jump over to my website, RahRahRealEstate.Love, and get a free consultation. Talk to me. Let's see if we can help you out. So today I am excited because we are talking to Tim Fry from 468 Insider, who created an app that uses technology off the grid to keep people present. And we'll find out more about that in just a second. But first off, we have, what do we got? Oh, we got to put this on here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fur Baby Fridays with Fancy. Yes, yes, yes. You know what? We love our pets. We love our kids, love our fur babies. And every week on Fridays, we shout out pets that people send in to me. And today we have four. We have four shout outs today. And the first one is Fancy is Benji. Benji's an 8-year-old white terrier from South Carolina. Oh, we made it through the hurricane. Yay. And thank you, Victoria, for sending that in. I always have to look at these to make sure we get them right. Okay. Then we have Dak, a 3-year-old Pomeranian from Sun Valley, Idaho. Thanks, Kathy, for wanting to shout out. Dak or Duck? I don't know. D-A-K. And then we have Barley. Barley is a long-haired 16-year-old tabby from Sacramento, California. And Billy sent that in to give a big shout-out to Barley. And then, of course, last but not least, we have a special shout-out to Apricot. And Apricot is a 2-year-old little sweetheart from the East Coast. Debbie Jolette says this dog is her little princess. So we want to shout out to Benji, Dak, Barley, and Apricot. And then one more thing, we want to make sure you all send in your fur babies, so I can shout them out on Friday, or Fancy can shout them out. But also, in addition, don't forget we have our homeward bound fur babies. So any fur babies that are missing or anything like that, we are taking pictures. I'm putting them up on the website and Facebook Live or Facebook every Friday, because we want our fur babies to be homeward bound. Right, Fancy? So, alrighty, guys. So we got to get this party started. And I'm very, very excited to have a very special person coming on with us today. And we are going to bring him on right now, and then I'm going to introduce him. So Tim Fry, welcome to Rah Real Estate. Hey, how you doing? Good. Hey, I want to just introduce you real quickly, because I think you're a phenomenal person. I've known you for a long time, and you've been doing some different things. So I'm just excited to see this mover and shaker do some things. But I want to introduce Tim first. Tim Fry is with 468 Communications. Tim is the president of 468 Communications, which specializes in communications, services, and location-based marketing. He founded the company based on the belief that an investment in presence, led by storytelling, results in more informed decisions by individuals and businesses. He created a product, 468 Insider, which gives communities the ability to cost-effectively create their own apps to drive visitor engagement and commerce by rewarding users for visiting places in their community. I am so excited to have you here, Tim. So Tim, this is fascinating to me, because being in real estate, this is like kind of an avenue to people moving to different places and relocating. And I'd like you to tell me just a little bit more about you and how you got started, because you were corporate and then went entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit.
Yeah, it was kind of a pretty radical transition. and it really centers around this whole idea of community. So a little bit of background on me. For about 20 years, I worked for a marketing firm, and I worked with a lot of technology clients, big technology clients, and I'm sure everybody watching has heard of all these companies. And I found myself selling a lot of technology products that in some cases, or in a lot of cases, were a solution in search of a problem. And so I felt like maybe technology is moving us as a society in a direction where we're becoming a little bit less present with each other, with our surroundings and with our communities. And I found myself becoming less present with my family and with my local community. And I might have physically been present, but I wasn't really present.
Weren't mentally present.
Exactly. And so after about 20 years doing that, I was living in Manhattan, New York City. Woke up one morning and I said, there's got to be a better life. And so my family and I moved back. We moved out of New York City and we moved to a really small community in the San Juan Islands up here in the northwest corner of Washington State.
Was that Lopez?
Lopez Island, exactly. A community so small that it only has one telephone prefix for the entire island, 468, which is how I got the name of my company. And so moved to the small community and just started getting a lot more engaged with my immediate surroundings. And I had this background in technology, which is really, really powerful. And I wanted to use technology in a way that doesn't make us less engaged with our surroundings, but make us more engaged. And so I came up with this idea called 468 Insider, which is a mobile app that actually rewards people for getting engaged in their communities. It rewards them for getting out and exploring, and it rewards them for shopping locally at local businesses on Main Street. That's the basic idea of it. And every small community out there could use something like this. And so I launched this product a little more than a year ago, and a bunch of smaller communities around the Pacific Northwest started to
Fabulous. Well, it takes a lot of guts to do that, first off. So you obviously wanted to make a difference in this app. And I know that, well, kind of explain a little bit and speak up just a little bit more, because you have a little bit of white noise.
Okay.
And so we don't want to miss any of the great words, but I'd love to know how this kind of educates, especially kids and things, because with technology the way it is today, and everybody is they're in their phone like this, but yet they're not really present, and it's really be creating a completely different type of society.
Right.
And so I really would love to kind of have you explore that just a little bit more, because again, I know from my real estate people who are moving to different smaller communities and relocating to different towns, they would love to know that there was going to be an app in that particular city, so that people could actually download it and get to know the community better. Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, it's exactly how it works. I'll just say a little bit more about what's happening around us. We're immersed in technology now. We are connected 24/7, right? And there's been a lot of really good things that have come out of that. It's improved our ability to work remotely. It's improved all sorts of stuff. It's improved our productivity. But on the other hand, it has made us kind of less engaged in just the world around us. And there's been an economic impact of that too. So, for instance, I can walk down any main street in any town in America, and I can walk into a retail store. I can pick up a product, make sure I like it, touch it, feel it, say, yep, this is what I want. And then I'll pick up my smartphone and I'll buy it from Amazon.com. And as a result, all that investment in that great local business goes out the window, and we're not supporting our local communities. And so that's one of the things that's happening, and that's one of the maybe negative impacts of technology. And I wanted to use that same power of technology to maybe start to reverse that trend. And instead of rewarding people for spending their money elsewhere, start rewarding people for spending their money where they live. And you do that by, these apps, if you want to learn more about them, they have points that you can earn by exploring different places in your community. And those places can be businesses, they can be parks, they can be museums, all the really unique things that makes your community great. And so as a visitor or as a resident, I can go to those places. When I'm physically there, I can collect the points and start to accrue these points for going. And then I take those points that I've accumulated and I can spend those in local businesses and get discounts at those local businesses. So that encourages and rewards me for spending my money right there in my own town. And it also gives me gives me incentives for exploring.
Okay, so for an example, say I'm going to Lopez Island. Let's just pick Lopez at this point. And I haven't been there, and I heard about this app and I downloaded it. So basically, are you telling me that I can go into these communities and if I buy something, then I will get a point, so then later I can go get a cup of coffee maybe or a discount off of it?
Exactly. Well, you get points by just going to places, by physically showing up.
I don't even have to buy anything.
You don't even have to buy anything. You just go. You go to the park. You go to the museum. You go to all these wonderful places, and you get points for going to each one of those. And then if you collect enough points, those points will help you buy something at a discount in a local business. And what I've heard from families, is families show up and they're looking for stuff to do. The kids want to make it fun. And the families in particular love it because the kids now have kind of this, gamified experience that makes it kind of a game to go explore this community that their family showed up at. And then the whole family benefits because the points that everybody collects can then help them, get discounts over dinner or for their bike rental or whatever it is.
That's awesome. You know what? I'm excited here, Tim, because somebody's jumping on here and I think they wanted to say something. And I'm going to bring her up. It's Becky Day. I'm going to bring her up here on the platform. Here we go. There's Becky Day. Hey, Becky, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Becky? Maybe not. Oh, there. Are you there, Becky?
I'm here.
Okay, fabulous. Well, Becky, I know, first off, Tim, I know Becky. And I wanted to just tell you, first off, Becky Day is the director of the Chamber of Commerce in Friday Harbor in the San Juans. And I believe that she actually has this app. So Becky, really quickly, can you tell me how this app is working for you guys in the Friday Harbor and the San Juan area? Because you have three islands, I think it covers.
The app that Tim created for us is the San Juan Islands Insider app. So it's our county of Burke and Juan Fist. So we've been our second summer of using it, and it's gaining momentum.
Wow. Are you okay?
I'm here. Sorry. It's a slow connection.
Oh, well, you're on the island. So how many downloads have you guys gotten? Are they getting from this?
We've had 5,100 so far.
That is awesome. And you just started this, right? You just started this app not that long ago.
Right, summer before last. And then this last Christmas time, which we'll do again here shortly, we're going to promote it more to our locals as well, because it's not just for visitors, it's for everybody.
Yes. Well, that's awesome. So, Becky, I'm so happy you popped on here. I know that you didn't have to do this, but I think you saw that Tim was on here. And being a new app, I think this is an awesome thing, because I think all the communities really need to get started in this, because we really do need to show more presence. Technology is fabulous, but Tim's come up with a way to create, presence and build our communities like they're building in the San Juans. He wants to build it nationwide and internationally. So I just think this is awesome, because I love technology, but I also like being present in what's going on in life. So Becky, I know you're driving, and I know you got things to do because you're busy, and you took a minute out of your time if you're busy, because this is a busy time for you up there in Friday Harbor. I really appreciate it, and you have a great day, okay?
Okay, you too. Thank you, and bye, Tim.
Thanks, Becky.
Thanks. Bye. All right, bye, Beck. Well, that was cool.
Yeah. I'm glad you let her go, though, because she needed to be more present while she was driving.
I'm thinking, but I think she was probably going from place to place, and that was just nice. I think when I told her that you were coming on, she's like, oh, no, I have to jump on because this has been such an awesome app. So I'm really excited that she did that. And it just shows people that, she's the director of Chamber of Commerce up in the San Juan and Friday Harbor area. And you got this app for them, and they're working it, and it's helping and working it. And because I think the biggest thing in these smaller communities, and I'm sure you're going to probably step out and go to bigger communities too, but some of these smaller ones, we want to bring people all year round, and not just in the summertime. Would that be kind of correct to say?
Exactly. And one of the things that Becky just briefly mentioned was over the holidays last year, one of the problems that they have living on those islands is that around the holidays, a lot of the residents will go off island to their holiday shopping. And so she used the app to create incentives for people to stay there. And so instead of leaving San Juan Island, she encouraged them to shop at the local stores. And so she actually created points and rewards for people for using the app. And it was great. And that's where the app can be a shop local app too.
I think it's awesome. I mean, tell me, I know you have to have a story because you're a storyteller. And so tell me how you came up with this idea. I mean, I know you briefly touched on it, but were you riding your bike one day and wondering what stuff was, or what were you doing, or?
Okay, let's see. And there's so many just little stories where this thing has grown to a place that I never really fully anticipated. So there's a couple stories along the way, but in terms of where it started is, I was volunteering with people like Becky at the local chambers of commerce, and they knew about my background in technology, and they said, all these people show up on the islands, they've got these smartphones, we don't have an app, can you help us create a visitors app for them? And I said, well, yes, I will do it, but I don't want to create just another visitors app, because there's so many of them out there, and they all kind of do the same thing, and they really contribute to more of this,
Yeah.
I didn't want people to be here, I wanted people to be out there. And so I said, I'll do it, but let's do it a little differently. Let's use technology, but let's not make the experience here, let's make the experience out there. So that was really, they approached me and they asked me to come up with this with this app. And so that was how it started. But it quickly grew into something just even more interesting. So while I was designing this and getting ready to launch it for Becky in the San Juan Islands, my really good friend, Anthony Reventi, is a social studies teacher at the local Lopez school. And he teaches Washington State history. And his problem is that his students, his 8th graders, would walk into class and they would do this. They all have their iPhones.
Right.
And it was really hard for him to rip those out of his students' hands. And it's really hard for him to compete with that. And so he said, Tim, if you can build this for chambers of commerce, why can't we use the same idea inside the classroom to get kids more excited about what they're studying? And just light bulbs started going off all over the place immediately. So what we did is we used the exact same technology in his Washington State history class, and we got his students to create their own app. And so Anthony and I co-taught this Washington State history class, and on the first day of class, when we told the students that they were going to be able to build their own app, they immediately became interested. And so it got them engaged in history, and they actually put all the information into a Washington State history app called Washington State Insider, and we called the project Project WA. We made the T-shirts, one of which I'm wearing right now. And by the end of the semester, these kids had and all the content in that app, in that Washington State Insider app, was content that they created, and it was they took control over their own learning. They got really excited by technology, and as a result, I think they learned a lot more excited about Washington State history.
Well, and it's so true that I think, even for myself, you have to be engaged in something to be able to learn it or want to learn it. And sometimes when we're being taught history or things like that, or geography and rocks, because I flunked rocks because I didn't care about them, But maybe if you make them more present and make them understandable, and you're involved in an engagement with them, it makes people want to learn more. And I think that for our children and kids, because I know you have two, that it's really important to get them engaged and want to, fall in love with history, or fall in love with the area they're in, or fall in love with the parks and all that kind of stuff. So how are your kids liking this, and how are your kids taking to this? I'm curious.
Oh, they love it. They love, because they've got their devices and they have their iPads and they're all about the latest app, and they love the fact that their dad makes an app, and so
that makes you cool, man. That makes you cool.
Exactly. And so I think the cool factor for dad went up a little bit, So the next chapter of the story is that at the end of that semester, when we launched the students app, Washington State Insider app, I put my family in a motorhome, and my kids and my wife and I traveled all around Washington State, exploring each one of those places that the students had put in the app. And so that's how we spent the summer of 2016, and my kids loved it. And that's the same summer that Pokemon Go came out. And my kids said, okay, Pokemon Go, that's fun, but we want to use this app. And so it got them engaged in history, and I think what made it work is that I met them where they are at. These are not going away. But let's use these. The genie's out of the bottle. So let's embrace it in a way that's going to be productive, and it's going to get kids, more engaged in things like that.
And once you say that, I mean, look what the craze was with Pokemon. I mean, that was a huge craze, but it was just one element.
Right. Where
what you're doing is, in some ways very similar. I mean, in a way, but you're adding many elements. And it sounds like that the individual communities can also build on them. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that's really exciting about this is I provide the app to different communities around the U.S. They're all using it a little bit differently. Some are like Becky and using it for these holiday shop local programs. I've had schools license it beyond the San Juans. The American School of Paris, for instance, licensed it, and they created an app that educated people about the untold stories of soldiers from World War I. And there's everything in between. And so that's really, really exciting to see the creativity in all these small communities and how they can use this pretty basic product to do some interesting stuff.
So basically, I guess what you're saying is, since each community is a little bit different, that if they're a place of all about hiking or all about parks, because I know we have some hikers on here and different things that are watching, that they can actually, if they're going to a particular community, that may be what they specialize in more, but they also add more. And I suppose they keep adding and adding, right?
Exactly. Just a quick story. I have a client in a little town called Colfax, Washington, which is in wheat country down in the southeast part of the state. And that client used her Colfax Insider app for these basketball tournaments that come to town. And so these kids would come to town, and she would say, go download our app, go explore all these cool places in the town. And their reward was to win this overnight tour of this haunted hospital up on the hill. And that's just one of those really unique assets of a community that only they have. And they're able to use this app to kind of get people engaged in that local heritage.
And it's obviously growing like crazy, because it's only been a year that you've had this out. And I know that you're actually going international. Tell me about the recent one you just did. I think you went to Canada.
Yes. In fact, so the British Columbia Economic Development Association, when they learned about this, they said, oh, our communities could really use something like this. And so they are actually providing the technology to all of their communities across province of British Columbia. And the first one to launch just launched this week in Victoria, which is out on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. And they launched their app and they called it Think Local First. And they're using it as a way to educate people about all the locally owned businesses within their community and reward people for shopping there. And that's really exciting to see. And I think that's one of the really cool things about the platform is that you can reward people for getting engaged.
Yeah, you can change things and make and engage people with this, but it's not just for kids; it's for adults. It's really bringing the community together because they're getting into the brick and mortars, which people want them to come to, and they're being rewarded for just that. We have a quick question here, Tim. Let me just put this up. This is from Monique Garlic. It says, so if we download this app, can it be used in any location you go as long as someone in that area has lost it in that area?
Yes. So I provided the technology to each community, and each of them can launch their own app. So it's not just one app that you download. It's many. And so, and each community has their own, and they can brand it their own. They can make it look however they want it to look. They can put their own locations in it. And so, for instance, there's Colfax inside, or there's the Think Local app up in Victoria, or in San Juan's, it's the San Juan Islands Insider. So each community has their own app. But yeah, it's free to download in each of those communities, and that community is responsible for filling it up with local information. And usually the administrator of the app would be like a director of the Chamber of Commerce, right, or the Visitors Bureau or something.
So what you're trying to do basically is get this word out to the community and the towns so that not only if it's Bellevue, Washington downtown, or where I'm at, or Colfax, or Saskatchewan, or wherever, that they basically can download this and actually kind of check out the area intimately.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Intimately, and it's enough to pique your interest. Get out there into the real world.
Yes.
It's not about what's on the phone. It's about what's around you. And we just want to use the phone just a little bit. Use the power of mobile technology to kind of create those rewards and that point system to get people out in the real world. That's what it's all about.
Well, I think you are doing something incredible because this is so needed, and it's such a timely thing. Because every day I'm seeing people like glued to the phone and like this, and it's not good. And I think you're taking technology and using it for good to get people back out into the world and out into being present in their own communities or communities that they visit. And I would love to be able to tell that to my people, my clients all over the United States, that they can maybe an app will come there soon, but they may need to contact you to make sure it gets started in that community.
Well, happy to hear from anybody. I think you're flashing up my website, 468insider.com, and there you can check out all the apps that have launched so far. You can read some case studies. You can learn a little bit more about how it works. My contact information is on there too.
So are you looking for if people know directors of the Chamber of Congress, who are you kind of reaching out to? Like the people who see this, if they may know somebody that says, hey, I got this great app, you need to talk to Tim Fry at 468insider.com. Is that who you're looking for so they know who to kind of touch base with?
There's a lot of different types of organizations that can benefit from it. So definitely Chambers of Commerce, so the director of a Chamber of Commerce for sure, or the head of a local heritage society or historical society.
Okay.
Or even the principal at your local school. Schools have started to use this as an educational tool, similar to what we did with Project Watt. And so I've got schools licenses. So if you know your local, social studies teacher or principal, they can benefit from it as well.
Awesome. So we're winding up here. It's almost 10 o'clock. It goes so fast. Is there anything else that you want to let people know about? I have your 468insider.com up, so everybody please go there, check it out. If you know people who could use this in different cities, give it to them. And then Tim is fabulous. He's a great storyteller, communicator, and he can walk people through it, and they can build their community to be a better place and make people present. But add something to the end here that you might want people to know about the last time.
Well, thank you very much for the plug. And as much as I'd love to, sell the platform to as many communities as possible, I think the core idea here is, remember to be present. Remember to be present in your relationships, with your family, with your local community. I mean, that's really what it's all about, and that's why I developed this. I developed this as a tool to use technology to just help people become more present. And I think that's really the fundamental idea here. And that's what I'd love to kind of leave you with is just be mindful of your surroundings, and in a world where we are completely immersed in technology and we're distracted 24 hours a day, remember to take a step back and remember what's really important. So that's really,
well, Tim, I really appreciate that, because I know in my business, I want to help others, and you are helping others, making them present in what you're doing and helping the communities. I know I'm doing the same thing, is trying to help others in nationwide and just trying to get people to have service and understand that, there's more to life than just technology, but service too. So Tim, I want to thank you again for coming on. This was awesome. Thank you everybody for jumping on. I appreciate your questions. Thank you, Monique, for jumping on. Thank you, Becky, Dave, for jumping on. I appreciate it. So I want to let everybody know to please join me every Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every day we're live. We talk about homes, inspiration, and life. And every day we are moving people with heart. So everybody go out and have a great day, and go out and make somebody smile. Thanks again, Tim.
All right. Thank you, Patricia.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.